Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to the Gems of War, Campaign 10, Week 5, Day 7. However, today we are primarily going to be going over spoilers for the upcoming several weeks. So this is the, tomorrow anyways, is the second time this is happening, but we're going to be getting, does it actually say it in the event thing? I don't believe it does, even though it's such a big event. Oh, yeah, it is. There it is. The Kingdom Pass. So, we've only ever had one other Kingdom Pass ever come in. This was Nexus back in late November, whenever it was. Because it went from November to December. I can't remember the exact time frame. But as it says here, it's a 5-week event that will have a bunch of various rewards. And right now, we are going to be going over pretty much all of that. Obviously, it's not in the game yet. It will be in 6 hours, 55 minutes. We're also going to be doing a stream in 6 hours and 55 minutes. If any of you want to stop by then at reset time, we will be going over it live as well. But for now, since we do not have, access to it until 7 hours from now, we're just going to be going over pretty much everything right now. And then also going to be doing it, actually live. However, so as far as the overview for it, it's probably easier to show during the weekly events. So, the very first thing that we're going to be getting is a journey event. So, right here, as you can see, Monday, the July 18th, which is tomorrow, we are going to be getting a journey. With that journey event, we're going to be getting specifically this trip. Does that bring it up through? No. Where's the... can you not see its stat page from here? Fine, I'll bring it up the other way then. It's not going to show it this way. There might be a link to get there from there. I'm not sure where it is off the top of my head. However, we'll do it the other way. So if we go over here, we can end up seeing everything for the for this journey troop over here. So as far as this troop, it is a Daemon construct. This kingdom is very heavily construct based. We're getting a construct hero class this Friday as well, though we're getting ahead of ourselves there. But there's a lot of brown creation, particularly purple brown, but particularly brown as well. It ends up dealing some damage to an enemy, and then ends up creating a bunch of brown gems based on how many constructs. And if you have an entire team of construct, it will actually end up creating, 15 total? Because it does 6 by default. Additional 3 per construct in your team and a default of 3. So yeah, 15 total gems, which is pretty solid, quite literally. So it's going to be an interesting journey event troop, as it's actually going to be viable. Unlike the previous journey troops, which, actually, never mind, this is our 3rd journey event. This is our 2nd Kingdom Pass. But the other 2 journey events, the troops we had for it weren't particularly good. This time around, it's actually not that bad. Anyways, we're going to be having a journey event, the 3rd coming of that, the 2nd coming of the Kingdom Pass. We're going to be having that. We're also going to be getting a new pet on this Wednesday, specifically the Gargoyle. It will end up giving a construct team bonus, which is very, very useful, as construct teams are going to be used a lot starting next week. There already are a few that are used. However, we're going to be getting a hero class for it on Friday. The new kingdom is almost purely construct. It's like 90% construct. I think there's like 1 or 2 options maybe that aren't construct. So it's a very, very heavy construct-based kingdom, so you're going to be able to get a lot of value from that additional bonus. And this Friday, not only are we... I don't mind, we're getting the class... Wait. Why is Volt there? No, that's the following week. I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyways, we have a class event, as I mentioned, this Friday. This will be bringing in the new Hellcrag. We actually went over this in the tier list the other week. When we ended up... Oh, wait, why is it bringing me all the way back there? Oh, wrong tab. But we went over this during the tier list that we covered 2 Thursdays ago. But this is the hero class. It's coming in 4 days, July 22nd. It is a pretty solid hero class. We actually put it in S tier. Though it might be like Dragonian, or not Dragonian Monk, but it might be like the Monk hero class, where it also seems like S tier, but ultimately ends up getting used as if it was like an A tier class. And this might be the same. It definitely looks like it's going to be S tier, but who knows, maybe it's actually going to be used a bit less. However, it has a lot of things going for it. It has 50% mana start, not only to itself, but to all constructs, which is huge. You have to keep in mind Lord of Slaughter's construct. There's a lot of utility troops under constructs, like for example, all of the, if I go to Guardian right here, every single Guardian troop is a construct, which is rather interesting as far as what synergies you can end up getting here. As this is something that you can't do off of Mirage Queen. Mirage Queen can get the original 3, because all 3 of the original 3 are elemental. However, the 6 new constructs, or the somewhat new, they were added like 3-4 years ago. That's somewhat considered new. However, the newer ones of the 6 are all construct and then a secondary typing that isn't elemental. However, now all 12 of them can actually be half mana started with a single troop, so that'll be interesting. If that will have any kind of applicable use there. But of course, there's also things like Lord of Slaughter. Actually, I can just pick up the whole construct tab, because basically every single thing under this tab is getting a huge buff as of next week, due to not only a 50% hero mana start hero class, but also from the pet, giving them a little bit extra stats. So if we do this by base rarity, the first thing we'll notice, of course, is Lord of Slaughter, by far the most relevant thing. Hey, that's actually kind of funny. Ironhawk's actually under that category, though. I don't think you would end up utilizing it in that way. However, you could. It does have Impervious and an okay mana accumulation method. But all of the 7 construct mythics, obviously the main go-to one's going to be Lord of Slaughter. It'll have a 13 mana cost start, meaning you'll only need 14 instead of the normal 27. There's War Gear is like such a bad typing that you're primarily using it now for its construct typing, more so than its War Gear. But yeah, it's one of the best Doom Skull setters in the entire game. It has a billion Doom Skulls off its ability. It doesn't even need alignment because it creates 6 of them. It has some additional effects which it doesn't even need. It just happens to have. It has 100% score reduction, it has a 100% chance to hit them directly onto HP value, which is actually the only troop currently in the game that does that. There used to be more back in the day. However, it is now exclusive only to Lord of Slaughter, at least currently. That'd be funny if any of them ever have more than 100%. Like if it said like 150%, meaning not only would they hit to their true damage, but also do the extra damage. Pretty sure it wouldn't work like that though. Anyways. And he also, pretty relevantly, gets to start a Doomstorm at the start of battle, so you don't even need to set that. And to go with all that, even has some score reduction. Though it would have been better if he had some skull dodge, given how his ability is. But yeah, there's constructs like that. Underneath Legendary, we have things like, gosh, a lot of Terra cards. If nothing else, every Terra card can have mana start. I don't think that's relevant. Hey, you can half mana start Mirage Queen that already gets half mana start off itself. That'd be funny. Though you could still do it for team bonus and build like an elemental construct team. There are several, constructs are also elemental, though I don't think you would bother going under that route. Oh, Gargoyle is actually a pretty huge one. You may have seen I've shown Gargoyle teams quite a bit in the past for Delves. I've kind of stopped showing them, main reason being they don't have half mana start. They also can't kill all 4 simultaneously. However, they're a really good delve option, a budget delve option, and I need to start showing the team again. It's basically just, well, the other issue is there's a weapon some people might not have that is really, really relevant starting next week, and it's Stone Slicer. Stone Slicer is this weapon over here. Type in stone. But this weapon is probably one of the main things why Construct is going to be so broken. So this is one of only a few weapons in the entire game that have the capability of feeding back into itself while also feeding into other things. So it creates purple and brown, purple feeding back into itself and brown feeding into the billion constructs that use brown while also creating brown. And it boosts on constructs. One of the main reasons this isn't really used too much in the current state of the game, it also creates brown storm, is there's no construct hero class. However, that will change next Friday, so it's going to be huge. I believe it gains one other pretty good benefit. No, it's just a brown storm. Yep, just a brown storm. Brown storm and the fact it feeds into itself, which is still huge. Anyways, where was I? So, as far as other troops, what else is good under construct? It seems like there's only like a few really, really good ones. A lot of tanky things, if nothing else. Oh, one really funny thing you could do is like construct into Dwarven Gate. Dwarven Gate does give mana to allies and that barrier thing. I don't think you would go too crazy with it. Now that I'm actually going through every construct in the game, there's not that many constructs in this game. Oh, wait, I accidentally have stone set. Never mind. I was gonna say, I know for sure there's more constructs than that. Where'd they all go? All right, there we go. Whoops, I still had the term stone selected. I was like, wait, there's slightly more than this. Though, not too many more, surprisingly. A lot of them very tanky. It's a very tanky typing, that is for sure. And the hero class is no different. It's actually pretty much tankier than Sentinel now, as far as like tankiest hero class in the game will still be viable. And unlike Sentinel, it has a natural half mana start. But yeah, there's actually a surprisingly low amount of constructs, but the few that you can use are going to be so worthwhile actually utilizing with it. The main ones being Lord of Slaughter, a few of the Guardians all the way down here. Actually, oddly enough, there's a lot of things under the common rarity that is actually surprisingly good with this. Mostly because you have access to all 12 of the Guardians at half mana start. You have access to Dwarven Gates, and yeah, there's 13 are some of the ones that... Oh, you know what else is actually kind of interesting? Ethereal Sentry. So Ethereal Sentry teams, one big issue with this is it generally just doesn't... Like, it's too slow to set up a lot of times. It increases an ally's attack based on their armor, and then creates a light storm. Oh, creating a light storm will be a little bit bad with a pure construct team, though. However, having that start at 5 mana start, which is actually something that has not been possible until this Friday, is actually kind of strong. I'm not sure if we'll be able to utilize this properly. However, this definitely has some more potential. It's already kind of viable now, but normally slightly too slow. But it might not be slightly too slow anymore starting this Friday, once it can kind of be built into a proper pure construct team. The only real big issue with that is you'll need a construct that actually gains a lot of armor. And despite what you might think with the tankiness of constructs, a lot of them do not really have like a proper armor gain. I guess the closest thing we have is Mithrilian, if you're going to go down that route. Because most other ones don't gain like any armor. Or at least not a relevant amount of armor. So I think Mithrilian might be the only way you could do that, though Mithrilian's pretty underwhelming. I wish it was good. It has 50% spell reduction, has a bunch of skull reflect. However, its ability just doesn't do much. If it gained like twice as much armor, or gained it to like HP and armor or something, I think it would be fine. It just doesn't do enough follow-up, or gain enough durability to justify it doing that as like the only thing it pretty much does. It does do the barrier thing too, but it really more so needs a little bit more bulk as it's casting, or at least some other similar follow-up like damage or something. But anyways, that's all the ones. So most noteworthy targets are things like Lord of Slaughter, Gargoyle, a few other utility troops mixed within, but it's mostly those and Dwarven Gate and the 12 Guardian troops, I would say, are some of the primary targets for a half mana start full construct team. You also have to keep in mind we also have the entirety of all new constructs coming in with the new kingdom, so there's going to be that. Anyways, where were we? So that's what's coming on Friday. Let's go over the troops that are coming on Monday. I was just kind of mentioning that now. But let's actually go show them. We did show them last night, so I'm going to go a little bit briefer on them tonight, as we did actually go over every single one of these initial 9. However, I'm going to go through the ones that are also further back down. So we're going to go over every single Hellcrag that's going to be coming during this entirety of the event, including the 4 faction troops right now. So I'm going to be a little bit briefer on them compared to how we were last night, as we are covering pretty much twice as many, and half of them we already covered. So this first one we already covered. This one's for the Journey event. It's going to be creating a bunch of brown. This is main gimmick. It's used with pure construct team. Next we have, I believe, a useless troop. Let's see, what was this again? Deal some damage to an enemy. 2 random enemies. Create 3 evil gargoyle gems. It doesn't have extra turns. Pretty much not going to be used. It could be okay in arena, as this is a ultra rare. However, beyond that, I don't really see this being used. Next we have the legend for the kingdom. You can tell because there's a little icon there. It creates 10 brown gems and it explodes magic +1 gems. The order in which it does this ability depends on how viable it is. If it ends up giving you the brown and then exploding, it's good. If it does it the other way around, it's really bad. But we'll have to find out. It also gets to do Perpetual Brownstorm, which has potential to be really good, as a lot of pure construct teams are going to be wanting pure Brownstorm, and it is indeed a construct. Also, keep in mind, almost every single thing we're saying here is a construct, so all these can be used with the hero class. It can be used with Stone Slicer, which creates a bunch of brown and purple, the purple going back into hero, the brown feeding into the construct, so there's a lot of potential there. Next one we have freeze a random enemy and create 3 gargoyle gems and gain an extra turn. This has a lot of potential due to the auto extra turn. It also gets to create random gargoyle gems, meaning you could either do positive or negative effects depending on which way it goes. Next we have the new Dwarven Gate. Well, not necessarily Dwarven Gate, I guess Fortress Gate in a sense. It ends up gaining a bunch of magic plus... it's basically the Fortress Gate of this new era. It's much better than Fortress Gate 2. The main gimmick of Fortress Gate is that it has Impervious. Not only does this have Impervious, but it has Stone Skin, but it gets to gain magic +1 armor and then barrier all daemons. Fortress Gate, I believe, gains a bit more armor, but doesn't give barrier to anything. Fortress Gate also does not have Stone Skin, so this is basically just better Fortress Gate, which is not saying too much though. Fortress Gate is among one of the weaker of the gates. However, it's basically the stronger version of that. Though if I'm not mistaken, are we getting a rework to that kingdom? So maybe they'll make Fortress Gate better then. But Fortress Gate is the exact same mana cost with a armor gain that is only 2 higher. It's 3 plus its magic, whereas the other one is 1 plus its magic. Its main gimmick before was that it has Impervious, but in comparison to this new gate, it's actually pretty bad. It always was kind of bad, however, even more so now. It's still good when you're using Ogress though, because the way that you actually use Fortress Gate in the current state of the game is you use Ogress, because Ogress has a 100% chance to summon a Fortress Gate when it dies, and that's pretty much the only situation when Fortress Gates gets used in the current state of the team. However, there are some niche instances where you might start with this just because it can barrier all daemons, so you would have to have more of a daemon focused team than a construct focused team most likely to be able to get value from this. So it's likely not to be used in any of the upcoming construct teams, but Impervious with Stone Skin, really solid, quite literally. Anyways, here's the free epic you get from completing out the kingdom. It destroys a row and eliminates magic +1 attack from the first 2 enemies, which is really good for taking out skull spam teams, and it's boosted by purple gems destroyed, so you can end up getting a little bit extra value there. Overall, probably pretty situational. It's not going to be enough to tear away all their armor like in Tango or something similar, so you're not going to be able to get like full amount of value from it, but it's still going to be okay value. It's probably not going to be used much. Doesn't have auto extra turn though, does have extra turn potential. Doesn't have enough skull reduction. If it said like 50% reduction, like a lot of the other things could be good. One other weird thing about this too is it's not a construct, it's Daemon Knight, so it doesn't get synergy within the kingdom with all the other constructs. Though it can have some Daemon synergy if you wanted to, but overall it's gonna be kind of average. Next we have ourselves, which one is this from again? This is the ultra rare. It deals, steals 10 armor from an enemy, which means it also gets that armor for itself. And then it deals magic +3 light splash damage to an enemy. This thing's going to be completely useless. It just doesn't do enough damage. In the context of Arena, this could be pretty good because it's basically a full armor tier while stealing other armor while also doing damage as follow-up. We'll still be able to get splash, which light splash is only 25%, but in like a context of Arena, it's still hitting for a few damage, so it's kind of strong. However, outside of Arena, I'm pretty sure this thing's not going to be used. Also, I haven't been mentioning it much, but there is this thing that ends up creating a stone mealet. A stone mealet, a couple of them have the ability to do this. This is coming in Bounty Hunter in like 4 weeks from now. But as far as what a stone mealet does, it ends up creating 1 gargoyle gem at random, either a good or a bad one, and then poisons a random enemy for each green gem under or around it. Basically meaning any, I'm not sure why it says under or around, but that basically means you target from what I'm understanding, is you target a gem, it becomes a gargoyle. Oh wait, do you actually get to target it? It just says create it. I'm not sure if you actually get to target it, but let's say assume you do. For every single green gem around that gem that you click, it will end up poisoning an enemy. So if there's 3 green gems around the gem that you targeted, not counting the gem that you actually targeted itself, it will end up poisoning 3 things on the enemy team, which in Arena could be okay. However, the main thing that makes this good outside of Arena is it gains automatic extra turn. There are quite a few gargoyle effects that have auto extra turn, and I think they're maybe starting to catch on that anything that doesn't have this extra turn capability is going to be useless. Because if it wasn't for this extra turn ability, he would basically never be used. But basically, he's like an Azarus kinda, but for gargoyle gems, where he just creates the 1 single thing of his gem, and then you can auto extra turn into, you know, follow up on it. Though Azarus doesn't even have guarantee auto extra turn, though he does have chance for it. And he has stone skin. But anyways, that's the thing that, also the most relevant thing about this is probably the fact he even has stone skin. Because you have to keep in mind, there are several troops that have a 25% chance on death to become this, and it having stone skin makes it tanky. So that's pretty good. Because whatever died, you know, is likely going to die again, so it helps that it's a little bit tankier. Anyways, where were we? Next one. Next one, we basically have a new barrier option. We already have a construct that does this. It's a brown-purple that does it for 13 mana cost while also gaining life. As far as what it does is it explodes a gem, barriers a random ally for each brown gem destroyed, and then ends up getting value that way. Basically you can end up barriering out your entire team, and while still having a little bit of board control. And the last one's of the one that we went over before, and we'll go over the other ones a little bit slower. But this one ends up creating 5 Doom Skulls boosted by evil gargoyle gems, and this has main synergy with its final ability. Ends up creating a evil gargoyle gem, the bad one, when matching 4 or more gems. So every single time you end up taking an extra turn on the board, it will end up creating a bad gargoyle gems, which of course, as far as what good and bad gargoyle gems do, I don't think I actually said it during this video, but you know, it's been around this entire season so far. But bad ones will make it so the enemy gets a random negative stats effects, 1 per one that you destroy, and any good ones will give you 1 positive stats effect for every single one destroyed. So this is going to be pretty interesting, as this will be a great way to apply a lot of negative stats effects to the enemy, while also creating a lot of Doom Skulls, which can be pretty useful because you can also get things like Hunter's Mark, Freeze, and other kind of things that will kind of make them annoying, like Entangle, combined with the fact that you're creating a billion Doom Skulls. And as long as you have like a few of them on the board, you're going to be getting some pretty good value. Even at only 3, you're going to be getting 14 total Doom Skulls, which is generally going to land more often. And if you have even more than that, you'll get more than that. Not only that, if the Doom Skulls do not overwrite the Gargoyle gems, you also get value for, you know, destroying the Gargoyle gems and get a bunch of negative effects onto the enemy team. Anyways, let me say hello to everyone, haven't yet, and then we'll go over the rest of everything because we still have a lot to go over. We're only like halfway there. Hello, Isabel. Hello, Bill. And then we'll mess around with the dailies a little. Hello, Bill, and hand the code. Hello, Gimli. Hello, Hollywood. Hello, Barbara. Hello, Genki. Hello, Gimli. Hello, Andrew. Hello, Sushi Ninja. Hello, Cookie. Hello, Tyrion. Oh yeah, I didn't even mention it yet today. I wasn't able to stream earlier today. I was talking to Isabel with this earlier. However, there's actually a really big problem with my laptop right now. The corner of the, well, you know how there's a hinge on every laptop where to make it go up and down, up and down, up and down. And you know how the screen is connected there, and if it breaks too much, your screen might stop working. I'm in that, like, mate stop working process right now. Because, the screen that is. Because, it's been moved up and down so much because of how my layout is right now, that I've probably done it, like, I want to say 5,000 times over the last, like, few years. And I have moved it up so much, up and down, that one side of the hinge is like broken. Like the plastic is starting to like protrude out. Every time I move it up or down now, it starts to break even more. So my solution to this currently is just don't move it up and down and just use it as like a stationary laptop, which means I can't travel with it or anything anymore. However, its internals, everything's still working fine, but if I keep moving it up and down, I am concerned the screen will stop working. So for now, I am just leaving it open exactly as it is, and it shouldn't really affect too much as long as I like don't move it. So as long as it kind of stays like a stationary laptop now, it should be fine. Otherwise, the screen might stop working. Though I did troubleshoot for like 4 or 5 hours last night trying to get a alternative way to use the screen. And I have found a way to use my TV as a screen. It took forever to actually get it to work. However, I did get it to work. So worst comes to worst, if my screen just randomly breaks one day and it's like, oh, that's a black screen, I can't see anything. Where's my everything? I can't use this now. I can simply just go and hook up the HDMI to the TV, and I have it all set up now that it will actually end up working, and it will work on boot up, so I can actually put in like, you know, the password and everything as soon as it comes up to that screen and be good to go. However, yeah, might need to figure out some kind of other alternative for that at some point, as well as mix up this layout some, because I actually can't, with the layout I have right now, stream on TV, kind of. I could, but I'd have to like move everything from where they currently are. Otherwise, I can't really see the TV. One other solution to that is I need to get a wall-mounted TV. That could be the next project, possibly. Get a wall-mounted TV, and then that would kind of solve that solution, because I wouldn't have to keep moving the laptop up and down. I could just forever keep it open as it needs to be now. Because the main reason I need to do it now is because the side of the TV is half blocked by the laptop. But if it's wall mounted, that wouldn't be an issue anymore. Though I will need to find a different location for the mic. But anyways, that's a solution for later. Anyways, also I finally got all the games organized, so my room's not a gigantic mess anymore. That was fun. It took a while though. Anyways, where were we? Let's start going into the new ones that we didn't go over last night. So I'm actually going to bring up a new tab for this. I went over the other ones a little bit quicker, as we already went over all 9 of them last night. Though we still went over them a little bit again right now. However, the ones we haven't gone over, let me go bring up a nice little screen for each one of these as we go over these for the first time. Let's see. And also, I haven't actually read what most of these do, so we'll find out together. I am going to be skipping all the other things that are coming out. I'm only going over specifically Hellcrag related stuff, which is everything related to the new kingdom. So anything related to weekly events, I am skipping here. Oh, I think I just found the Mythic that we're getting next event. Also, this new faction, of course, is associated to the kingdom as well. So I'll bring that up. And that's the first one of that. That's probably the epic that we get from the thing. Well, obviously, that's the epic we get from the thing. And this will probably be the ultra rare. Never mind, that's the rare. The next one's probably the ultra rare then. Oh no, this one's the legendary. You can tell by its icon. I believe this is the right one. We'll find out when we actually paste it here. Because there's 3 images, because it needs it for the storyline. Yep, that's the legendary. Oh, I love the art for that legend. Oh no, its ability. It's to be determined. No. Wait, can I not go over them now? I didn't even notice that. Oh no, all 3 of these are to be determined. Oh, never mind. We're not going over these right now. My bad, my bad. The new faction's actually to be determined. Oh, that is cool art, though. I like that. But never mind. We can't go over to New Kingdom yet. It's, they're still processing it. Anyways, we can go over this, though. Wait, why is this one... No, that one doesn't have its info. Never mind. But yeah, everything for the new faction is to be determined still. Which is weird, because all the troops for this faction event is... I mean, yeah, for the kingdom event, I mean... is already good to go, but the one for the faction event in a couple weeks, for whatever reason, doesn't have all its info yet. Well, we'll go over that when we can. And here's the last one, though we kind of already went over him, but we'll kind of re-mention him, as a couple things in this kingdom does have the ability to summon him on death, kind of like Ancient Horror does, except he's slightly better, actually. Anyways, so let's go over these. So first things first, this is an epic that we're getting from Boss Slayer, so this is going to be for the raid event. Specifically, this event takes place on... 2 weeks from now. Wait, what are we getting next week then? Wait, did I skip one? Hold on, which one are we getting for next week? Oh, I guess we're just getting a normal Blade of Lands event. Okay, that makes sense. But anyways, for the week of 2 weeks from now, not tomorrow, but 3 Mondays from now, 2 weeks total, 2 weeks and, you know, some amount of hours, we're going to be getting a raid event, and that raid event will be bringing in this new troop. As far as what it does, it is a dragon construct, and it's a brown-red, ends up dealing, if I had to guess, let me guess, it hits all enemies. It deals magic plus 4 damage to an enemy, and if they are a boss, it just hits for them for some extra damage. Oh, never mind, it's just a standard little poke. That makes sense, he's a boss slayer after all. His main gimmick is that he explodes 3 gems, which if nothing else, at least that'll make him good in, that will make him good in Arena, and at least not horrible as a boss slayer. That's not the best effect we've ever had on one, but it's far from the worst, so I'll take it. It does have stone skin, like pretty much every other construct, and as a ranged troop would, he does get to do 5 times damage on both his ability and on his final trait to bosses, as you would expect from a boss slayer. Next we have this Golem, a Daemon construct. Ends up having stone skin, like a lot of these do. It ends up gaining magic +1 life, boosted by all Gargoyle gems, and then pulls the enemy to the front, which you get to select. So this is going to be okay. It's kind of like an average tank. The fact that he gets to move something to the front makes him not completely useless. Biggest issue with him is he doesn't have an auto extra turn, so he's probably not going to be used. Realistically, if you want to, on a construct team, move something to the front, you're probably using construct hero class with rope dart, even though you're probably going to use stone slicer in most situations. However, if your mana coverage already has, or if you already have like mana accumulation, you want to go something else, you'd probably just go rope dart instead and just use that instead of this thing. So for the most part, I'm pretty sure this troop is not going to end up getting used just because, here is a construct now, so that leaves a lot of options. Unfortunately, this mythic that we're getting for the kingdom is not a construct? That's interesting. So the first mythic that we're getting, this should be, next week, or next month's mythic, August 5th, as you can see there. So this mythic is not a construct, it's a Daemon Knight, so it does have synergy with the hero class or not the hero class, but the epic troop that you end up getting from the kingdom, as well as the fact that it does have Daemon synergy. There are some Daemons in this place. I'm not sure if it's going to have much Knight synergy, but anyways, it's from Hellcrag. Oddly enough, not a construct, so you can't use it in a construct team. So Lord of Slaughter still going to hold supreme as the best construct mythic, since it's not even getting one from its own kingdom. So instead, you're just going to use Lord of Slaughter in most situations, but especially because of the whole brown aspect. But anyways, this thing does use brown, so at least that's a good thing going for if you do use it in the context of the kingdom, though probably not because it's not a construct. Anyways, it is a red, green, brown. It deals magic +4 damage to all enemies, drains 4 mana from all enemies, boosted by Gargoyle gems. Oh, that's interesting. They added a physical damage AoE Scion as a 25% chance to create that stone thingy, a 25% score reduction, and its unique trait is create a good Gargoyle gem when matching 4 or more gems. That's kind of funny that he creates good. However, that's rather interesting. He doesn't have any way to break his own gems. He does have boost ratio off those gems, though. But this is very interesting. This is like a slow tank fatigue stas effect kind of troop. So the main gimmick of him is it actually plays very similar to the old Scion Famine team back when, well, any of you who were around back then, you know the team. Good old Scion Famine. But it used to be like a super ultra meta back when there was no immune to mana drain back in the day. And basically how it functioned is it kept chipping at the enemy very slowly over time. And this troop seems like it's going to be very, very heavily based on that. Based on the fact that it's going to be getting a lot of positive stats effects as well. So it gets to constantly keep draining all enemies, assuming they don't have immune to drain. You're constantly going to be getting good stats effects for yourself, like Barrier, Bless, Enchant, everything are under the good category. It'll be hitting your entire team. You'll need something else to destroy it, but you could use anything for that. But yeah, this has potential. Its typing is a little bit weird being a Daemon Knight, though, as its synergy in that regard is going to be a lot worse. However, if I'm not mistaken, if we ever get half mana start for Daemons, you know who else is a Daemon? You know who else is a Daemon? And literally only a Daemon? Scion. You know who has no mana conflict with this troop? Scion. You know what could become a team just like Scion Famine back in the day? A Scion, whatever this guy is called. A Scion the Tourmaline. So that's going to be rather interesting. A Scion Tourmaline team, if we ever get like a Daemon 50% mana start. I don't think it's going to be viable until we do, because there's so many 50% mana starts now that not having it is pretty detrimental, because you basically have to run like, something for absurd amount of mana. And the main ways to do that is double empower, or 50% mana start, or, like a Leprechaun Thrall kind of thing. However, this has potential to bring back Scion Famine, just as Scion Tourmaline instead. So that'll be interesting to see how that pans out. Scion's not used much in the current state of the game, but its main gimmick is you use it in first slot and it steals an enemy's mana when it hits it with a skull. So it has a very high, or very low skull attack. It actually, I believe, has one of the lowest attack values of any legend in the entire game. However, it gets the benefit of stealing all their mana every single time it hits with a skull. And it's also, its lower attack as time has gone on doesn't mean as much, because, as we keep getting more and more stats, it having that low of attack doesn't mean as much. Oh, that's a bad example. Gosh, why is everything's attack so high in this team with 20%? I'm trying to find one that has like a lower amount of attack. Please, show me anything that has a lower amount of attack. Like Romaine right here, we have like a 63. If you even compare it to that, like how low it is, it's very, very low. Even Leprechaun, like a 61. This thing still has a higher attack than that. But yeah, it has a very, very low attack value, to say the least. But it makes up for it by having Mana Steal on its skull and also the Mana Drain to all enemies. And that's basically what this guy's going to do now, except with a lot more damage, a little bit higher mana cost, but it won't be too bad to feed him because he does use 3 colors, so even though it's higher mana cost, it's slightly easier to feed. And he's probably going to be used in second or third slot, probably a third. The way that you generally run the team is Scion in first, your mana accumulators in second, this thing will be in third most likely, or fourth, and then you have like one other utility troop like, you know, Hero with something and something similar. And it will generally end up being your team, so has potential. I'll just have to wait and see, though we really need a Daemon 50% mana start before he can really become viable. Anyways, which we will not have when he comes out. Next we have a Stone Zombie. A little bit of a weird art for this guy, but I just guess it's rather unique, kind of like ghoul. It's an undead construct, so that's a kind of interesting typing. As far as what it does, it's a 10 mana cost brown blue. Where do we get this from? I guess we're just getting on a weekly event. It converts 4 stone blocks to either good Gargoyle gems or bad Gargoyle gems and explodes a gem. This is probably only going to be good in the context of factions, mostly because there aren't too many ways to create stone blocks. Obviously, we have been getting some this season. However, stone blocks are currently very much not the meta. So if they ever do, maybe he'll be okay. However, there are better things that already do it, like ones that explode all stone blocks or do some other value based on stone blocks. And as far as stone block value troops are concerned, he's not one of them, and for the most part will probably never be used, unfortunately. There's also no auto extra turn there. And one thing that does have auto extra turn, though, is this guy. This one we already went over a little bit earlier. He's the bounty hunter troop that we're going to be getting in... actually, it's one of the last things we're getting during this 5-week event. He's coming all the way on the 32 days from now on Friday, August 19th, which I believe is the very last week of the 5-week event. That's going to be going on for this new kingdom. And on the very last week, we'll be getting him. And he's actually not that bad, especially for a bounty troop. I'm not sure you're actually going to use him in the context of bounty. But outside of bounty, he's actually going to be more viable, which might be the first time ever where a bounty troop is actually more realistically viable outside of bounty. Actually, there's a couple like that. Okra somewhat is as well, and a few others like that. Whereas Trikraki's better inside the context of it. But anyways, as far as what it does, it's a 9 mana cost green-brown. A lot of things have a 25% chance to summon this on death. I think there's like 3 or 4 different things from the kingdom that have the capability of becoming this on death. Main thing that's relevant on that is he has 50% score reduction, but as I was mentioning earlier, he also gets a poison for every green around the Gargoyle gem that you end up creating. Not only that, but you also get to extra turn. So the auto extra turn is going to be very, 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 very powerful. Anyways, did I go over most everything? I guess there's also a couple weapons, so let's go over that real quick. Also, I didn't say the rest of hellos. Hello, Barbara. Hello, Steve. Hello, Cookie. Who did I say hello to? Hello, Logic Slayer. Hello, Bill Warhammer. Hello, Lester. Hello, Henry. Hello, who did I say hello to? Hello, Clipbomb. Hello, everyone else. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. I just released an Apocalypse Kingdom. Yeah, they still have it. They still haven't yet, unfortunately. There's 5 Apocalypse troops, but they have no kingdom. There's a lot of things that have a, you know, typing, but not a kingdom. Anyways, let me go show the weapons. So there are a couple weapons and a couple pets that we're going to be getting during this event. We'll go over the, actually, let's go over the pets first. Then we'll go over weapons. So there are a couple pets that we're going to be getting during the duration of these events. The first one is coming tomorrow. This, I believe, is paywalled. I think you get 1 copy for free, I think, from the free side. However, I believe the rest of it, if you want to get it fully maxed initially, is going to be paywalled. Ends up giving a Hellcrag bonus. This will be in the drop table at some point a couple months from now, or maybe even sooner than that. So if you're free to play, you will be able to get this pretty easily into the future. However, you do get it fully maxed through the $7-8-ish pass, or however much it is, just through completing the pass. So you'll be able to get it upgraded that way. And I believe the free side might get 1 copy, if I'm not mistaken, somewheres later on, but it won't be enough to max it, of course, but you'll be able to max that at a later time. But yeah, it just gives a bonus to Hellcrag, which is, of course, the new kingdom type. Next is, I already went over earlier, the construct one. This construct will be giving us a, you know, construct bonus, as you would kind of expect. This one's not a part of the event. However, we are getting a Lady Anariel buff. That's kind of interesting. Lady Anariel, if I'm not mistaken, isn't that the one that creates blue-purple? She's okay. She feeds mana back into herself. There's better ways to do it. Cute pet, if nothing else. It's like a lion-griffin kind of thing. Or went a lot more into the lion part. Why does it have an extra paw, though? Does it have a paw as a wing? Why does it have an extra paw? Am I missing something here? Or is that its back leg? If that's its back leg, how is it moving it in that direction? Because I see 1, 2, 3. Those are both its front 2. So this either has to be its back one, in which case the digits are positioned very weirdly for a back leg, or it's a wing. That's an arm. I think it's its back leg, but that drew so weirdly, like proportional to where it should be on its body. I have no clue, but it is cute. Anyways, there's that. We're also getting on that same day. Wait, what's the event that's going on that we're getting multiple of these on the same day like that? I'm actually confused on that. But anyways, we're also getting one for King Avalon. This one's more relevant. This one's a lot more relevant. So King Avalon, you've probably seen if you've ever played Guild War. So King Avalon, the main gimmick with him is he's a 50% elf mana start. And this is extremely relevant for Orb Weaver as Life and Death. Oh, yeah, it's the Legends Reborn thing. I forgot. Legends Reborn, August 1st. You're right. This is from Legends Reborn. Oh, this is a different thing. Hold up. This is not related to the new Kingdom 5-week event. This is the new Kingdoms. That's why it threw me off, because it's something that doesn't exist yet. This is related to the Legends Reborn event that's happening on August 1st. Something we've never actually had, and I'm not too familiar on all the details because it's never happened yet. However, yeah, that's what that's from. Oh, I almost forgot about that. August 1st, we have that. The patch happened, and it didn't do anything, but that's when it actually does something, technically. That and tomorrow, technically, but more so on August 1st. But yeah, this is going to be pretty relevant. This one ends up giving 50% mana start, or he gives 50% mana start to all elves. This is used with Orb Weaver, Life and Death, combined with Weaver, Arachnian Weaver. It's a really strong combination. You probably see it a lot during Guild Wars. Speaking of which, we have Guild War next week, by the way. And though this won't be available for it, but yeah, that's going to be pretty good. He's probably not getting that much of a stat bonus, but he's used a lot. And this is probably the first troop buff troop we've ever had for a troop that's actually already viable to begin with. And the other one that's doing it for is Dryad, which is weird. Didn't it say one of them would be for a Mythic? Dryad's not a Mythic. Dryad's like a rare or something. Yeah, Dryad's a rare. Something Summon It. It having a bit more bonus is okay, but it's not really that big a deal. It's a pretty underwhelming troop in the current state of the game. Used to be kind of good back in the day. Oh, here it is. Yasmin's Chosen. This is the Mythic one that we're going to be getting through this the other Heroes Reborn event thing that for the first time. Let's see. Yasmin's Chosen. This is the one that creates 1 billion green, right? That's such a weird troop to have it on. But I guess it's a good one to put it on as far as a Mythic, because this troop's kind of underwhelming. It's basically if you took Wild Queen and made her worse. So basically there's Wild King, which is really good. Wild Queen, which is still good, but like more situational now. And then there's like the worst version of Wild Queen, and that is Yasmin's Chosen. Ends up doing some scatter damage boosted by entangle enemies and create 10 green gems. It's not really too consistent at extra turning for how much its mana cost is. And its only real gimmick is that it entangles a random enemy when matching green, which means you're probably going to 4 times entangle the enemy team. However, there are so many more efficient ways to 4 times entangle your entire team without using this troop, while still getting more value, while also having like auto extra turn and stuff like that. And there just really isn't much of a need to use this troop, especially since the Elementalist. Don't you have entangle on the billion things that you do? Yeah, you entangle. So why would you ever use that troop that is dependent on taking a green to entangle when you can stun, freeze, burn, and entangle for a single extra turn while also having hero, while also having 1 billion other useful benefits? Like, there's literally no reason to use Yasmin's Chosen in the current state of the game. She's already been underwhelming for a while. I guess it would make sense that they would try to buff one that's already kind of bad to try to put it back into, a state that isn't horrible. But you could give her 20 all stats and she still wouldn't be used. Her stat distribution isn't the problem. It's her usefulness is the problem. Anyways, you could double her stats and she probably still wouldn't be used just because of what she does overall. Anyways, next we have one that actually is from the thing, from Hellcrag. It's just a little bit of an Earth bonus. This gives you extra surge chance whenever you take Brown. And the last one that we have here, I believe, is the one for the faction. And this ends up is the Obsidian Depths. This one's the faction pet. So this is just a faction pet that you end up obtaining from completing out the faction. If you get to 2,000, you get a copy of it. If you get to 2,500, you get it max. Standard faction pet. And that's all the pets that are coming for that during the duration of that event. And some other ones coming in there, just cosmetic for various things. Like we got International Dog Day coming up, International Cat Day, all that good stuff. Hey, are we finally getting the Zugoff pet? Do we have an official date yet? No, there's no official dates. There's so many pets that they still haven't added. Like, I still want this this bird as well, but they still haven't given us the bird. It's a cosmetic pet for something, but there's a couple of them that have been here for absolutely forever that have just not had an event. Yeah, that's as far as we know up to there. Anyways, let me go over the one last thing we haven't gone over yet, and that is the weapon spoilers. So we are getting some weapons, obviously, for Hellcrag, as you would expect every kingdom to, you know, end up getting weapons. And here are all the ones that Hellcrag will be getting. Quite a few of these will be initially through the pass. However, a couple of them also unlock through other means, like, for example, when we have a raid event, when we have the faction event, we'll be getting one. When we have, you know, all the events like that, we'll be getting the weapons for. So it will be getting several that way. I believe these first two are from the past, based on the fact that they're coming out tomorrow. Or sorry, there's first three. So yeah, isn't that how many were on the past first the last time? Because there was one on the free side, two on the paid side. There's 4 of them here, so probably one in the shop that you'll be able to get for glory or something. 1 or 2 in the or 3 in the pass. 1 on free side, 2 on paid, and the other one's probably just in the glory shop or something like that. Anyways, as far as this first one is concerned, it explodes a gem and creates 1 gargoyle gem plus 2 more for each gargoyle gem destroyed. Wait, what? There's no way it's that broken. Wow. Alright, that's actually kind of good. So basically, let's say hypothetically, there are 3 gargoyle gems on the board. You hit 2 of them with your destroy. You're going to be creating, or for every 1 gargoyle gem you destroy, let's put it this way. For every 1 gargoyle gem you destroy, you're creating 2 additional gargoyle gems plus a default of 1. So let's say we destroy 2 of them. We will create 5 gargoyle gems and still explode our gem and still hit the 2 gargoyle gems we hit. So this thing is going to multiply the amount of gargoyle gems pretty quickly on the board. Biggest issue with this is no extra turn. However, if you have enough follow-up on your team, this could be okay. You have to keep in mind as well, I'm not sure if you could target gargoyle gems. However, if you can, that makes this weapon way better. But even if you can't, you could realistically hit up to about like 6 to 8 gargoyle gems simultaneously, because they can be next to each other without matching into each other. So you can just get a billion gargoyle gems all simultaneously, end up doing that, and then get a lot of effects. Also keep in mind, this creates either or. So let's say, for example, you have something that's only creating evil, like the legendary from the kingdom that's pretty decent, that does Doom Skulls. That one only creates evil. However, every single time you destroy with this weapon, it creates both good and bad. So even if you're using something on your team that just creates a lot of only good or a lot of only bad, this weapon will be able to neutralize it to give you both good and bad. The exact ratio will be random, but you know, you'll be getting both. So even if you're only creating one, it still boosts ratios by both to become into both. So this has potential. It's a very situational weapon. You're probably not going to use it. Its mana cost is a little high. If this is like a 12 mana cost, it'd probably use a lot more, but oh no, it still might be usable. We'll just have to wait and see. It's definitely a very gimmicky weapon that you would only do if you were a really heavy gargoyle spam team, but definitely has potential. Anyways, next one we have either create 4 gargoyle gems or explode magic +1 gems. That's a little inconsistent. Do you get anything good? It blesses itself, it cleanses itself. 1 mana to all allies and some life. This is probably too inconsistent to use. It's either half the time going to be a standard explodey weapon and half the time going to create 4 gargoyle gems. If this said also auto extra turn, it'd be good. But I'm pretty sure you'd rather just go an explodey gem. This thing's inconsistency is just going to be too high. Because what happens if you cast this 2 times in a row and both times it creates 4 gargoyle gems, you're kind of out of luck and you're going to auto lose. And it's just not worth it compared to just any of the billion other explodey weapons in the game. So unfortunately this one's going to be useless. Next. Deal magic +3 true damage to an enemy boosted by gargoyle gems. It's okay, it's like a true damage poke. I'd rather just use rope dart though. It's also very similar color to rope dart. Death marks the first enemy, that's interesting. Also bleeds the first enemy, though that's less relevant. Yeah, this isn't too good. Like, it's a true damage poke option, but there are better true damage poke options if you're looking for a weapon that does it, like Trickster or Rope Dart, or, you know, Rope Dart. Like Rope Dart all the way. Anyways, next up, deal magic +4 damage to an enemy. Excuse me. Boosted by all brown allies and construct allies. That's also kind of bad. It's basically just a damage poke weapon with no follow-up. Deal magic +4 damage to an enemy. Boosted by all brown allies and construct allies. Yeah, it's not good. It's just a damage poke. And that damage ratio just isn't going to be good enough later in the game. It does have Hunter's Mark. It does have Brown Storm, but you already have a billion other ways to do Brown Storm with the new typings. So yeah, both of these are probably going to be useless. Honestly, all these are going to probably be useless except this hammer. And this hammer is just a really gimmicky team kind of thing. So all these weapons haven't been the greatest yet. And of them, the best one's going to be the Crag Hammer. if any of them are even going to get used at all. So next we have the hero class weapon. This is going to be coming out on Friday with the hero class. If you get 250 wins with the hero class or spend 500 gems on the hero class event, you'll get this weapon. It is better to do it to 250 wins. However, anyone who might be power maxing the class, you will get this automatically without needing the 250 wins. However, it explodes a column and creates a gargoyle gem for each red and brown gem in the chosen column. So this is going to be good because on average you're going to destroy like probably about 4 red brown. So you're going to get 4 gargoyle gems. It's basically just a better version of this one, where it does either 4 gargoyle gems or explodes, because this does some mana accumulation and does destroy. The only big downside of this is it only uses brown, so that could be a pretty big downside. It does have brown storm, which is good. It's one of the colors it needs, so if you didn't already have a brown storm option, this could be okay. The only problem is everything else that it does is not that good. It does get to burn the first enemy, I guess. However, the construct hero class does not have triple damage burning, so it won't be able to utilize that burn in that way. Right, next we have, so far really only the hammer seems good. This might be okay. Like for a hero weapon, it's okay. Under the category of like how good is a hero weapon, but overall just kind of bad. Like it's very situational, but even more situational than this to a point that you're probably not going to use it. Anyways, this next one is deal magic plus 7 damage to an enemy, boosted by Hellcrag allies. Okay, here we finally have one of the standard kind of weapons. This creates a bunch of mana accumulation, red and brown specifically, based on how many Hellcrag allies you have. The only big issue with this is the Hellcrag Mythic is... Oh no, actually you could use this with Hellcrag Mythic, because this only cares about Hellcrag typing, because this isn't a construct weapon, so because Stone Slicer is. We already have it. So you know what, this one actually could be okay. Green purple's a little bit of a weird coloration though for it. It also doesn't feed into itself. The colors it creates, red brown, being pretty good though for the kingdom, as you would kind of expect for a kingdom weapon like this. All of its follow-up isn't really that good though, but it's probably just going to be an average gem creating option. So nothing too special there. And I believe that's all of them, or at least for Hellcrag anyways. Okay, I believe that is everything related to Hellcrag. Let's go hand out a code. Now that we've done pretty much this entire stream, which I pretty much knew going in, which is why I didn't even put like Explore 12 farming. Because I had a feeling this would take almost the whole stream based on how long it took last night. Well, let's go hand out a code. And then I guess we'll clear out dailies real quick, and we might end it there. However, this is not the end of us streaming tonight. We will be streaming, well, for one, we're not done streaming yet. However, we will be streaming again in 6 hours from now at reset time. We will be immediately covering the new kingdom on stream. Of course, we'll be still covering the weekly video. That I'll be mentioning it quite extensively as well. However, we will be going over it live as soon as it comes out. It might be a little bit laggy the first 15 minutes, but we will be on literally the exact time reset hits. And we'll do everything with that right in the morning then. And we'll still cover the weekly video a little bit after that. Wait, did the stream just die? No, stream! Wait, am I looking at the wrong one? No, it didn't die. Hold up. I was looking at last night's stream thingy, and it was still up because I never X'd out of it. That's funny. Because they both have the same icon, so when I was getting the code and clicked back, I was like, wait, did I disconnect? Never mind. I was going to say, we haven't disconnected for such a long time since we've been using the new encoder, because it's been working out really well. Anyways, let me go clear all these dailies, because I have not touched them. So let's go clear all these out. If any of you have any other questions or anything you want me to go over, do let me know. But yeah, 6 hours from now, technically 6 hours and 9 minutes, we'll be covering the new kingdom live when it comes out. And as much as we can go over immediately, we shall. It'll probably be like an hour, maybe 2 hour stream, depends how much we have to go over. Probably closer to an hour, because I do still want to cover the video before I go to bed if I can. And obviously that's going to be pretty late, because 1 hour stream is 4 a.m. Or, you know, from 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. my time. So we're going to be up a little late, to say the least. Yeah, nice that we have 100 gems here. Also, you might want to stockpile your gems if you're a little bit low. A lot of things coming up that's going to eat out your gems. Also, one thing to mention that I should probably mention preemptively, and I will mention on the 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time morning stream as well when we do the thing. Will we have some codes for the stream as well? Yes, we'll have a couple codes as well since we're getting a new kingdom. We'll hand out like 2 or 3 codes when we do the 3 a.m. stream at reset, which is in 6 hours from now. But we'll hand out a couple codes then. But one thing to keep in mind, do not spend gems, or for that matter money, on expanding the tiers. There's a system like a lot of battle pass systems where you can spend resources and or currency in order to skip them. It is very much not worth doing this, and I highly advise not doing it. Buying the pass is fine, which I think is like $7-8 or something, but using money or gems to skip tiers is exceedingly not worth it. It only takes a few weeks from the 5-week event. So even if you can't play like literally every single day, you can still skip some of the days and still get it done. Yeah, let's go clear out our diamonds over here. But yeah, I highly advise not using gems or money to skip them. But it is definitely worthwhile to get the pass. Obviously for free to play, you can still stay free to play. But if you're someone who buys like the normal $10 pass, it's actually not that bad of value. It's one of the few things in the game where the value isn't that horrible for it. Though do keep in mind, if you are free to play, you will be able to get everything at a later time. Last time, there was not a single thing that was money locked that did not come back for free to play players at a later point. It took a little while. It took like 7 months. Like remember when we had Nexus last week? That was when some of them finally came back. However, it was possible to get all of them 100% free to play. It just took like 7 months. But you were eventually get them all. Also, as we just went over, a lot of those weapons and some of the stuff like locked behind it aren't even that good. Unless that stone hammer is like the final reward on paid side, in which case, okay, they might have locked the best weapon. However, it's not needed. It's a really gimmicky weapon. It's not even exceedingly good. Also, the hero weapon kind of does what it does, just in a weaker way. Oh, I did not want that. I almost clicked that. Nope, I want the other one. Give me that. Anyways, let's grab that. There's the redeem code we just handed out. Same reward as always. 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, 2,500 gold. And definitely feel free to leave a like on the stream. Helps a lot and is greatly appreciated. Anyways, we have an objective to just kill some random things as you would normally have. So let's go do that. And I guess we'll do that with a little bit of explore. And I guess we'll just do that until the other daily thing is done. And then we'll probably call it here, get some rest. And then tomorrow we'll cover the thing. Actually, you know what? I might stay up and record the other video. Because I did get a bit of rest in today. So I'm actually not too tired right now. Also, I'm drinking a little bit of caffeine here. Because, you know what I didn't cover? Because we do have it next week on top of a billion other things. We have Guild War next week. And one thing I actually haven't gone over yet is the 6 teams I used for my Guild War win last week. So I do want to cover a video for that. And I might cover it before the Monday video. And if I don't, I'll probably cover it before Guild War actually starts on Tuesday. For any of you that are interested in it. Of course, we did it during the last Guild War. However, any of you that want it in one nice concise video with all the copy-paste, we'll have it there. And it'll be all 6 of the teams we did a perfect Guild War on. So if you wanted any team ideas that you could end up utilizing, I will be going over that in the next day or so before the Guild War starts. You just medaled all rare troops. Nice! Congrats, Tyrion. Huge congrats. Very nice milestone to hit. Hey, that reminds me, we need to go remax all the commons. We get like another common or 2 from the kingdom. Actually, I might as well just max most of them. Any that are epic below, I might just max all of them. Because we're going to be messing around with a couple of them. Though some of them are more viable than others. But there are a few options from Next Kingdom that actually aren't that bad. Oh no! I hate when it does that. How could you? Gosh, it's been happening almost every night recently. We've been getting so lucky on the drops, but so unlucky on this thing wanting to absolutely destroy our Mythic every time. Because she's the boss slayer troop. Every kingdom has one. So there's no kingdom you can go to avoid it. And sometimes you just get lucky, get their mana instantly, and then decide to hit your boss. And his team is extremely dependent on Zugaf not dying. Because the second it does, we kind of lose. Like, we could still win, but it would take forever. Because this team is not structured to win without Zugaf. It's also one of the reasons why Iron Gut Zugaf is actually so good in Underworld as well. Because if you happen to lose one of them, it doesn't really matter, because you still have one to win with. So even if you lose one win option, you still have the second win option. It's one of the reasons why that team is so strong in Underworld. Well, then you have like 2 insta-kills when stats keep getting like absurdly high. Not to mention Iron Gut gets the attack from the enemy, and then you can use his skulls off of Zugaf to do even more damage. Because that scales up to whatever stats. Doesn't matter what their stats are. Because you gain attack based on how much durability they have. Or not based on how much durability, but you know, you're still in their attack. So proportionally, your attack will go up proportional to their durability gains. Which makes it really good for Underworld. Which reminds me, if you want to get Iron Gut, I believe today's the last day. Wasn't he in Soulforge this week? Let me double check. Wasn't Iron Gut in Soulforge this week? Highly advise picking up. It's really good. Yeah, he's in Soulforge. If you want to pick him up, he's pretty much the best faction troop you can get in the entire game other than Zugaf. Possibly even better than Zugaf. So if you're looking for a really good faction Underworld option, Iron Gut's the way to go. He's available for like 6 more hours, so if you want to get him, make sure to do so. Otherwise he will be like another 3 months from now or whenever he goes back around. Fairy Godmother's not bad either. If you want to do wish teams, it's the best way to do so. Pretty gimmicky troop, can backfire, but it's quite a bit of fun to use if nothing else. It's a really fun troop. But yeah, I would say the strongest thing right now is High King Iron Gut if you still want to get it before the weekends. And, oh, also, do not leave this week without Earth's Fury. If there's any one thing you get, 100% gets Earth's Fury. Also, if you want to pick it up for Guild Wars, Doomed Codex is also here. If you want to set a super try-hard Brown Day team, you do have access to Doomed Codex here. That do keep in mind is quite a bit weaker if you don't have it fully maxed. However, it's still usable as a defend option. It just has to get even luckier. But yeah, Earth's Fury is the way to go if you want a weapon there. It's basically Mang, but it distributes it to your entire team. There's a lot of really weird teams you can end up building out of it. They're situationally useful. Yeah, pretty average chest there. Power Orb number 107. Oh gosh. Yeah, I wonder what all the rewards are going to be in the Journey event. I hope it doesn't cost too much, because I heard there's a Power Orb in it. And the problem with there being a Power Orb in it is how much is it going to be inflated in cost if there's a Power Orb? Because most people don't care if there's a Power Orb or not in it. However, they have never offered a Power Orb for anything cheaper than like 25 bucks. Which is very concerning to how overpriced the tier for the other thing will be. Because the one for the event that's happening this Monday should be like 7 or 8 bucks, which isn't that bad for a 5-week event thingy. It still comes out to like $2 per week, but it's not too bad. But for the fact that we're getting like a brand new kingdom, and even if you don't get it, everything's still accessible at a later point. Like everything for Nexus finally came back as of about a month ago. A lot of it already did before then, but you know, officially pretty much all of it was back after the last month. Actually, was it earlier this month? I can't remember. Whenever we had Nexus a couple weeks ago. What else are you going to do with them? I know, right? They really need to add another purpose. That's one thing I really never understood. Back in 2019 December, if not mistaken, they added the ability to get a 1% chance to get a power orb off of major orbs. Since they have added anyway, or was it 2020? I can't remember. One of those Decembers, either 2019 or 2020, they added a 1% chance to get a power orb from a major orb. And since then, they have added literally 0 things that utilize power orbs. Like, the thought at the time was, oh, they're doing this because they're going to add, like, 1 mythic per year. That will, or, you know, 1 boss troop per year. That's going to cost 8 power. However, since they have done it, they have added 0 boss troops that cost 8 powers. Which just seems very strange. Because they drastically increased the rate at which you can get power without actually giving you anything to use power on. Because you never use a power orb to actually upgrade a troop. You only use them to create troops that, you know, cost power orbs. Because it's really bad value just to upgrade something with it. Hopefully we'll get something. There's currently no signs of them adding another boss troop. And even if they do, it's not guaranteed that it'll be for power. Because they actually added 2 boss troops since those 2. But neither of those 2 boss troops actually required power. It was those 2 Hatter and Scroll troops, 2 sides of the Hatter Scroll. Hatter Ascendant and Scroll Reborn. They end up costing major blues and major oranges. Hey, and I knew. But neither of them actually required power, even though they were boss rarity. You know one thing that would make a power worth it, though? If a power actually maxed the meddling of a troop. If they changed powers to do that, which they probably never will, but if they did, a power would actually be worthwhile. Though they're never, ever going to do that. Or if they do, they're going to add a different orb that does it. Because obviously you would use on a Mythic, and that would count as the equivalent of using 6 Nishas on a troop, essentially. And 6 Nishas are very rare. I think the cheapest you can get them for in the game is 35, and it's only when you get a new Mythic. And even at that pricing, which is still absurdly expensive, it would cost you, what's 35 times 6? That would be a total of 210. It would cost you $210 to, at the lowest price range, to max a Mythic using only money. You'd also have to get 6 Mythics to do that, because that's the only time when that offer shows up. So yeah, that's very, very overly expensive. You do get a few other things with it too, but it's still way too much money. Yeah, $210 is the lowest amount you can spend to max a Mythic using only money. And you get so little out of it too. Like, I don't even care if we ever get every Mythic max, because the stat difference is very small. So only like about a dozen. Well, it depends what stats it gets, but it's only like a dozen or so. As low as 6 if it's just magic. Like 6 is the lowest it gives, but it gives it magic, which is a good stat. And the highest I think is like 20 something if it's the durability typing. Like that one support typing or the other one. But all of it's in durability, which doesn't help it offensively at all. Oh, it might just make it survive one extra hit occasionally. And I mean ever so occasionally, because stats keep getting higher and higher in the game. So the stats that you get from meddling a troop actually becomes increasingly worse. Just because overall stats are becoming higher, while that bonus stays exactly the same. Oh, what do we need here? Let's take that and try for purple off the sky. Did not get it. Come on, give us the purple. There we go. It was a good morning, Yipsealin. Welcome, welcome. That's 3 AM by you. Well, we're going to be doing another stream in about 6 hours. That might be more for your time zone. Because we're going to be streaming the new kingdom coming out in right at reset time, which is in 5 hours and 55 minutes. We're not streaming until then, but we're going to be starting a separate stream then. How close are we on kills? Oh, you're going to need one more battle. So I think we'll end it on this next chest then. Not the final battle, but, you know, as soon as we get to that chest, we'll end it there for now. But we will be back in 6 hours from now to go do the new kingdom. In 6 hours, you'll be sleeping. Well, I'll be on the channel if any of you guys want to catch after the fact if you're not going to be around. And we'll have a Monday video going over stuff as well. But the stream will primarily be unlocking the kingdom, going through the quest line, reading through the quest line, you know, all the things you would normally do for a new kingdom. Go upgrade all the troops, go obtain all the troops from the drop table, and, you know, all that good stuff. Buy the money pass. Check to see if it's $1 cheaper on phone, because why not? It was last time. I highly doubt it will be this time. I think that was just a glitch in their system that they couldn't really undo. But we'll see if it's $1 cheaper on phone again. I'm not sure why it was, because I'm pretty sure they both take the same amount of money. Because sometimes an in-app purchase will be different because one company takes more money than the other. So they make it cheaper on the one that doesn't take as much money. But if I'm not mistaken, both Steam and Android takes the exact same 30% cut from them. So there's no reason why it should be cheaper on Android. Though it was last time. Because I'm pretty sure Apple, Android, and Steam all take 30%. I don't think any of them take less than 30. So we'll throw that down. So no campaign event for a few weeks? What do you mean by campaign? We still have the campaign event. Like tomorrow night we're going to be doing all the campaign tasks for chapter 3. Or chapter 6, I mean. Or, you know, week 6 of the campaign. But no, we still have the campaign event stuff. We have a lot of things going on. So not only do you have to do all the campaign tasks, we're going to have a journey event, we're going to have a guild wars, we're going to have a new pet, we're going to have a new hero class. We're going to have... This is all next week, by the way. We're going to have the new kingdom event. Yeah, we have like 7 or 8 things going on. It's a very busy week. It's going to be a very, very intense Monday video. So yeah, so basically, tomorrow morning stream in 6 hours, we're mostly going to be doing the kingdom stuff. Like, so, you know, like unlocking the kingdom, getting all the kingdom troops, reading the storyline, you know, everything kingdom related. But then that night, we're going to be doing all chapter 6 tasks. And probably some of the journey event as well. Because I'm probably not touching the journey event, or I might slightly during the stream in the morning, but it's mostly going to be a tomorrow night stream than a tomorrow morning stream. I might touch on the journey event just to kind of show a team, but that's also what we're going to be doing during the video as well, the weekly video. But there's a lot going on next week. It's an exceedingly busy week for Gems of War. That's the only problem sometimes. Sometimes they have like a drought of a couple weeks where like almost nothing happens. Like this week was kind of one of those weeks. And then they go and have a week where there's like 10,000 things at once. All simultaneous. They have a bit of an issue balancing that sometimes. Because there is a very large contrast between busier weeks and the duller weeks. And next week is probably one of the busiest weeks we've ever had in the game as far as number of things going on at once. But anyways, guys, any other questions? Anything else I missed? Let me go through chat again, and we'll be back in 6 hours from now. Whatever your game says for reset time, 5 hours, 52 minutes, whatever that is in your time zone, will be on. Unfortunately, that's like 3 AM for me, so I might be a little tired, but we're still going to do it. Probably an hour stream, maybe 2 hours. Probably close to an hour because I do want to get the Monday video up, ideally as soon as I finish the stream. Obviously not immediately after, but you know, we'll probably build some of the teams on stream, so maybe we'll be closer to like an hour and a half, 2 hours. We'll see. But I do want to get that video up before I go to bed at like 7 a.m. or whenever I finally get to bed. But yeah, I'll be doing that tomorrow morning in 5 hours, 52 minutes. Let's see. You could send out some high five for your guild mates who aren't revered yet. Oh yeah, we could end up doing that. Though the only problem with that is I don't ever know like who is or isn't. But I could go through that later and try to figure that out and start giving it to people. Like I know a lot of people already have it. Like Isabel, I already know for sure. You probably already have it for sure. The problem is you can't click in one click to know for sure. You have to like double click, and I don't want to accidentally like kick someone because the kick button is only like a few inches away. Like most people are already revered. I'm not sure who isn't. I guess if we go all the way to the bottom, we could see people who aren't. Oh, Jen ends up doing the thing. I wish this was easier to tell. You can't really see when they go for the support thing anymore because your guild itself doesn't really get the support from it as much. Though you still get the pet rescue if nothing else. Also, gosh, I did not claim all these. Let me go do that. Look at all that unclaimed value there. Though you do auto-claim it, so even if you don't, if you forget to claim it like I normally do, it sends it to your mail, so it's not too big a deal. Like if I forgot to claim that within the next 6 hours, it would be in our mail over here underneath rewards or messages. I think under rewards. And we'd just be able to claim it tomorrow. So if you ever do forget it, you don't actually lose your loot. It just gets sent to your mail instead. Let's see. Seems like a week with 10,000 trophies because we have so many things to do. Yeah, it's a very busy week, that's for sure. There's like 6 people. Okay, I'll try to figure out who the 6 people are then. And I'll try to get everyone the thing. Yeah, I'll check the guild chat later. Just double checking everything. But thank you everyone for stopping by. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. But yeah, we'll be back in 6 hours from now. As soon as reset hits, we'll be on, maybe even a little bit beforehand. Keep in mind, it might be a little bit laggy, so we might have to wait like 10-15 minutes of just kind of chatting because I'm not sure how much watch you'll be able to do with the ultra lag because everyone's going to be on at once trying to, you know, do stuff. Aside from that, yeah, we'll do that. Then we'll cover the Monday video. Then we'll cover the the Monday normal night stream as we always do at 1 hour prior to now tomorrow. And that's pretty much our game plan then. So 2 streams tomorrow, 1 video going over everything. And I also need to get the video up at some point within all that time on the teams we used for the previous Guild War. As I do actually want to go over them, as it was one of the first times in a while that we actually did a flawless Guild War. So I kind of wanted to go over all 6 of my teams just to kind of show them for anyone interested. Anyways, I'll catch you guys later. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you guys soon. And when we are next back, we will be in New Kingdom territory, and we have a lot of things going on. I'll catch you guys then. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for watching.